Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I'll be doing a deck profile on one of my favorite decks, being the Regenesis deck. Let's go ahead and get started with the main deck. We have 3 copies of Regenesis Archfiend. Regenesis Archfiend is the main searcher for the deck. You can special summon this card from your hand by revealing another monster with 2500 attack or defense in your hand. You can only special summon Regenesis Archfiend once per turn this way. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a Regenesis card from deck or banishment to the hand, except another copy of Archfiend. During the opponent's end phase, if this card is in your graveyard, because it will send there this turn, you can add this card to your hand. Next up, we play 2 copies of Regenesis Sage. If a monster with 2500 original attack or defense is on the field, you can special summon this card from the hand. You can only special summon Sage once per turn this way. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When your opponent activates a card or effect, quick effect, you can send one other Regenesis card from your hand or face-up field to the graveyard, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. During the opponent's end phase, if this card is in the graveyard because it'll send it this turn, you can add this card to your hand. All the Regenesis monsters besides Lord and Overlord have that add to hand effect. Next up, we play 1 copy of Regenesis Warrior. I'm thinking about bumping it to 2 because I have a pretty neat little combo that I like to do with Warrior. But there's multiple ways to recycle the Regenesis cards, so he'll be at 1 for a while. But he also, the same thing as Sage, if a monster with 2500 attack or defense is on the field, original, he'll special summon himself. His quick effect, you can tribute this card, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls and return it to the hand. 1 Regenesis Dragon. This one as well, just like Sage and Warrior, if a monster with 2500 original attack or defense is on the field, special from the hand. His quick effect, you can tribute this card and target 1 spell or trap your opponent controls and banish it. 1 Regenesis Lord. This card is basically the main killer of the deck. He cannot be normal summoned or set. He must be special summoned from the hand by banishing 1 face-up monster you control with 2500 original attack and defense. You only special summon Regenesis Lord once per turn this way. When this card is special summoned, you can set 1 Regenesis spell or trap from the deck. And he gains 2500 attack during the battle phase only. And if he attacks a defense position monster, he inflicts piercing battle damage. And the new card from Doom of Dimensions, Regenesis Overlord, I actually got to see this card be used last time I went to the locals. It's actually insane. He must be special summoned from the graveyard by banishing 2 monsters from your graveyard with 2500 attack or defense. You only special summon Regenesis Overlord once per turn this way. If this card is special summoned, you can target cards in your opponent's field and or graveyard up to the number of your banished monsters with 2500 attack or defense, return them to the hand. And monsters your opponent controls lose 2500 attack during the battle phase only. This card is absolutely insane. I had him on the field, and I had 3 banished Regenesis monsters, and he just bounced 3 cards from my opponent's field to the hand, opened up their field for just attack, and push your game. Three copies of Kashtira Unicorn. Kashtira is a very good engine for this deck. If you control no monsters, you can special summon this card from the hand. During the main phase, you can add a Kashtira spell from deck to hand. And when this card declares an attack, or if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can look at your opponent's extra deck, and if you do, banish 1 monster from it face down. 2 copies of Kashtira Fenrir. Fenrir, if you control no monsters, you can special summon him from the hand. During the main phase, you can add a Kashtira monster from deck to hand, including himself. When this card declares an attack, or if your opponent activates a monster effect, you can target 1 face-up card your opponent controls and banish it face down. I play 2 Doomdog Orthros. If this card is sent from field to graveyard, you can add a level 8 Fiend monster from deck to hand. Our level 8 Fiends are Regenesis Archfiend, and Lava Golem. Because with this deck, we don't usually use our normal summon. So I run 3 copies of Lava Golem because of that. And he has 2500 defense. So for Sage, you can have Lava Golem on the field and special Sage if needed. Or Dragon or Warrior. But Lava Golem, we all know what Lava Golem does. He just tributes 2 monsters in their opponent's field, give them a Lava Golem, and every turn they burn 1000 HP. And last monster for the deck, Replicard LAD. You can banish one other level 7 or higher monster from your hand, special summon this card from the hand. You can target one face-up monster you control, special summon one monster from your deck with a different name that has 2 or more of the same level, attack, and or defense, but it cannot activate its effects this turn. You can only use each effect of Replicard LAD once per turn. On to the spells. 3 copies of Regenesis. Take 1 Regenesis monster from your deck and either add it to the hand or send it to the graveyard. Or if you control a Regenesis monster, you can add 1 monster with 2500 attack and defense from your deck to the hand instead. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, then target 1 Regenesis monster in your graveyard, special summon it. You can only use each effect once per turn. 3 copies of Regenesis Code. Regenesis Code, special summon 1 Regenesis monster from your deck, but send it to the graveyard during your opponent's end phase. Also, until the end of the next turn, after this card resolves, you cannot special summon from the extra deck during your main phase. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, then target one of your banished Regenesis monsters, special summon it. You can lose each effect once per turn. Very good card, and it's quick play. Next, 3 copies of Kashtira Theosis. Take 1 Kashtira monster you can target 1 Kashtira monster you control, special summon 1 Kashtira monster with a different attribute from the deck in defense position. Also, for the rest of the turn after this card resolves, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except XYZ monsters. If this card is banished, you can target one of your banished Kashtira cards, except Theosis, add it to your hand. Next up, 3 copies of Pressured Planet Race-Off. When this card is activated, you can add 1 Kashtira monster from your deck to hand. Monsters you control gain 100 attack and defense for each different attribute on the field. If Kashtira Shingri Era you control activates this effect, except during the damage step, you can target 1 card on the field and destroy it. Then I have 3 copies of Lightning Storm. We all know what Lightning Storm does. 3 copies of Super Poly. A super favorite card of mine. I run 2 Kashtira Birth, which allows us to normal 7 level 7 monsters without tributing. And during the main phase, you can special summon one of your non-XZ Kashtira monsters that is banished or in your graveyard. If your opponent activates a spell card or effect and you control a Kashtira monster, you can target 3 cards in your opponent's graveyard and banish them face down. 1 Regenesis Cycle. If you control a monster with 2500 original attack or defense, target 1 card your opponent controls, or you can target 2 if you control Regenesis Lord, banish that card or cards. If this card is in your graveyard, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it, special summon 1 monster with 2500 attack or defense from the hand. 1 Gordian Slicer. This card's activation and effect cannot be negated. At the start of your main phase 1 or 2, target any number of face-up cards on the field. For each targeted card, banish 1 card from your hand, or 6 cards from the extra deck face down, then return those cards to the hand. Targeted cards to the hand. And lastly, 1 Call by the Grave. For the traps, we run 1 Regenesis Birth. You can send 1 Regenesis monster from your deck to the graveyard, then target 1 face-up monster your opponent controls, change it to face-down defense position. During your opponent's turn, you can send this card to the graveyard, special summon as many Regenesis monsters as possible with different names from your hand, graveyard, and or banishment, but send them to the graveyard during the end phase. 1 copy of Regenesis Commands is a very, very good card. Apply these effects to all cards your opponent controls in the same column as your Regenesis monsters. Face up, negate their effects. Face down monsters cannot change their battle positions. Face down spell traps cannot be activated until the end of the next turn. 1 Dragon's Mind. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control a monster with 2500 original attack or defense, negate the activation, and if you do, destroy that card. If this card is in your graveyard, you can pay 2500 life points, set this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. 1 Skill Drain. Activate this card by paying 1000 life points, negate the effects of all face-up monsters while they are face-up on the field, but other effects can still be activated. And wrapping it up at a total of 48 cards again. Each player can only control one type of monster. If a player controls 2 or more monsters of the same type, they must send some to the graveyard so they control no more than 1 monster of that type. On to the extra deck. My extra deck is, I want to say, pretty generic, except for Poseidra Abyss. I've never seen anyone put this in a Regenesis deck. I would gladly say that I may be the only one to have him in a Regenesis extra deck. He's technically I'd say he's my Regenesis ace monster for the extra deck. This card requires 3 level 7 monsters. The only effect we use for him, because we can't use most of his other effects because it's not a Atlantean deck, I can detach 2 materials from this card, then send 1 monster, water monster, from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Return up to 3 cards your opponent controls to the hand. He's basically Regenesis Overlord, but for the extra deck. 1 Kashtira Shingri Era. 2 or more level 7 monsters. During each standby phase, you can special summon a Kashtira monster from your deck. Each time a card or cards your opponent owns and possesses is banished face down, except during the damage step, you can choose 1 unused main monster zone or spell and trap zone. It cannot be used while this monster is face up on the field. If this card on the field would be destroyed by battle card effect, you detach material from this card instead. I've had times where I've just locked out my opponent's main monster zone and just won the game because of that. Pretty good. Number 11, Big Eye. 2 level 7 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card and target 1 monster your opponent controls. Take control of that monster. This card cannot attack the turn it's activated. 1 Typhon. We all know what Typhon does. Extremely good card. Same as Zeus. We're all familiar with Zeus. And here's the Dracosac I got from the unboxing we did earlier. 2 level 7 monsters. I haven't got to use them yet, but yeah. He requires 2 level 7 monsters. Once per turn, you can detach 1 material from this card, special summon 2 Mecha Phantom Beast tokens, which are level 3 machine wind monsters with 0 attack and defense. While you control a token, this card cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects. Once per turn, you contribute 1 Mecha Phantom Beast one Mecha Phantom Beast monster, then target 1 card on the field and destroy it. This card cannot attack during the turn you activate this effect. I'm glad I could use him now. 1 Kurzebs, the Gallowed Glutton. He came out in Doom of Dimensions. He acquires 2 or more level 7 monsters. He gains 700 attack for each material attached to it. Once per chain, when a normal or quick play spell card is activated, this is a quick effect, you can attach that card on the field to this face-up card, and if you do, this card is unaffected by the activated card. During the end phase, you can set 1 spell card that's attached to this card. He is absolutely insane. 1 Salamangreat Almiraj. I just have him here to combo Doomdog, so you'll normal summon Doomdog, link off into Almiraj, and Doomdog effect will activate to grab Lava Golem. But Almiraj is pretty good. 1 SP Little Knight. We all know what Little Knight does. Blackluster Soldier, Soldier of Chaos. Requires 3 monsters with different names. If this card was link summoned using a level 7 or higher monster as material, your opponent cannot target it with card effects. Also cannot be destroyed by opponent's card effects. When this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle, you can activate one of these effects. This card gains 1500 attack. This card can make a second attack during the battle phase of your next turn, or banish 1 card on the field. Then play one Underworld Goddess of the Closed World. Pretty sure we all know what she does. Absolutely amazing card. But I'll go ahead and read her off. She requires 4 or more effect monsters. You can also use one monster your opponent controls as material to link summon this card. If this card is link summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up monsters your opponent currently controls. This link summoned card is unaffected by your opponent's activated effects, unless they target this card. Once per turn, when your opponent activates a card or effect that special summons a monster from the graveyard, quick effect, you can negate the activation. Now for super poly targets, 1 Garura, Wings of Resonant Life, 1 Muddragon of the Swamp, 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Predaplant Dragostapelia, and last but not least, my favorite of the Predaplant trio, the Predaplant Trivial. Onto the side deck, we play 1 World Chalice Gardragon Olmerduk, another super poly target, another super poly target, Earth Golem Adagnister, 3 Artifact Lancia, because Malice is a popular deck at my locals. Same with 3 copies of Chaos Hunter. She also has 2500 attack. 1 of the Sticky String Kaiju, an extra Doomdog, extra Dragon's Mind, and an extra Birth. Well, that wraps it up for today's deck profile. I hope you all enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one.